The original is not like the grafted. The original truth is not like the lie. Welcome to the messenger's message in this age of mess. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to the gods, peace to the goddesses. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Shalom. Peace, peace, family. I'm your brother in the struggle for peace, truth, reality, freedom, justice, and equality. Brother Minister Alif. Beloved, today we're going to cover something from How to Eat to Live, Book 2 from 1972. I was thinking about something that I wanted to share with y'all. Basically, short version. Master Fard Muhammad in 1930 taught the Nation of Islam that every time we eat peanuts, almonds, cashews, pistachios, what have you, peanut butter, it takes 5 years off our lives. So when I became a new FOI, I had to think about that. I'm like, whoa, I only got a couple of seconds left. Because I used to work as a child. When I was like 14, I worked at two grocery stores. Now, 12th and Nedro and 13th and Parkside in North Philly, basically, for my old head Yaya, who used to be a member of the Nation of Islam back in the day, Johnny Bird, But I had access to like all the candy bars I wanted, what have you. So there'd be nothing for me to be sitting there and just open up a pack of M&Ms, Snickers, Paydays. I ate all that crap. All the toxins and poisons you could think of, I indulged in some shape, form, or fashion as an 85% mentally dead, So I was thinking like that. I used to eat a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches growing up. No wheat bread, just white bread, the most poisonous breads, what have you. So it had me like that. I was a complete savage. So I had to, as I grew in Islam, one of the things the Elijah Muhammad teaches us is that he said, don't take what I teach hook, line, and sinker. Piece it apart. He told us in our lessons, Lost Found lesson number 2, that the 5%, our job is to study the sciences of life. So as a youngster, I was like deep into the sciences of life. I used to just study science, And when I started doing the math, because real Islam is mathematics, and mathematics is Islam. When I started studying the reality of the messenger's message in this age of mess, I had no doubt that the Supreme Allah, who came to person Master Fard Muhammad, to my praises due forever, and his first, last, and only messenger, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, knew what they was talking, including the Honorable Brother Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Honorable Brother Minister Silas Muhammad, the Honorable Brother Minister Jeremiah Shaheed Muslim Shabazz. These was like my old heads. I was a young, but I'm like, they definitely know better than me. So I used to just read. I wasn't the type to read the final call. I read the final call, Muhammad Speaks Continues, the Messenger Brother John Muhammad, the Messenger Brother Jan Muhammad. I've read articles from Jabril Muhammad, Mother Tanetta Muhammad, the Son of Man, 5% of newspapers, what have you. So in fact, let me grab. I'm just happening to just glance over there. Let me grab these two newspapers for y'all so y'all can see what I'm talking about. This is an old Muhammad Speaks from Brother Minister Levi Kareem. Hopefully y'all can see that. You got Master Fard Muhammad, the Messenger, Imam Worthy Muhammad, Downward Brother Minister Louis Farrakhan, that's Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, but it's the Nation of Islam history. In here they got Silas Muhammad, Leave My Teachers as it Is. They got the cartoon of people trying to steal the messenger program. In fact, let me find that cartoon for y'all. Hold on 1 second. 1 second, because this is a deep cartoon from back in the day. Look at that. Beautiful. Exactly what's going on today, family. It said, I steal them for myself. Muhammad's program. How many 10%ers is trying to bite the messenger's message in this age of mess? Now, I mean, and I wanted to show y'all another old newspaper I had, volume 17.11. 5%er newspaper. Shout out to G. Colleen, Brother Minister, Levi Kareem, his family, you know, because nothing is a single project, you know, but the this is how we study, family. You know what I mean? You know, they 5%ers always supported the brothers in the belly of the beast. They even put me in that newspaper. I used to write for. I used to actually write for Brother Minister Levi Kareem and Muhammad Speaks. I wrote a few articles in there. The ministers. What did I write? I wrote the Minister's Dilemma, The Money or the Message, Masonic Ministers Masquerading as Muslims. You know, I wrote some classics back then, and I mean, that sparked them, you know, but the point is, there's different branches of the Nation of Islam, but the roots of freedom, justice, and equality, the trunk of the tree is the Nation of Islam. The branches, Imam Warthin Muhammad, Father-in-Law, Clans 13X, down below Brother Minister Farrakhan, down below Minister Saus Muhammad, Jeremiah Shabazz, Levi Kareem, Nasir Makir, Brother Minister Jam Muhammad, Sister Malika, Pittsburgh, on and on and on. It's just so many different branches that grows on a tree. You don't sit around and try to count the different branches. They all produce fruit. I mean, the same essence, the same fruit. Now, I mean, that's just the nature of things. You know what I mean? But the Day family, we're going to cover from Hadith to Live, Book 2, 1972. You know, why did Master Muhammad teach the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the believers that, you know, almonds, cashews, peanuts, and nuts, period, just take 5 years off your life? Let's think about that for a second. The message teaches us Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. Islamically speaking, I did the math. You know, I literally looked at like, okay, well, if the original man by nature lives on average 1,000 years, how many times would he have to eat peanuts and almonds and cashews or what have you before it physically kills him? Mathematically speaking, it's 200 times. Meaning, if a human being ate peanuts, almonds, and cashews 200 times, they would physically die, okay? So I was like, well, is the Savior teaching us symbolically or literally? Like the mother playing the message teaches, the answer is both. It's literal and symbolic, okay? All right, so, you know, using the biblical stuff, like the Bible teaches man lives 120. Let's take a look at it in a 2025. This is the month of June. Let's look at it in this day and time. In this day and time, let's say on average, human beings live 100 years. Let's keep it simple. What is the math that would kill a man or woman, black or white, if they ate almonds, cashews, peanuts, what have you, before it physically killed them? The answer mathematically is 20 times. If you lived 1,000 years, it'd be 200 times. If you live 100 years and you ate that stuff, it'd kill you after eating it 20 times. I guarantee you, if a human being was to stand up in the audience, say, I'm just using a hypothetical, say we had an audience with 100, 1,000 people in there, Christians, Sunnis, atheists, whatever. They'd be like, Master Muhammad is a false god because he taught that every time you eat peanuts or almonds and cashews, it'll take 5 years off your life. I challenge the Nation of Islam. I'll give you $10,000 out my white brother's breast pocket if you can prove to me that a person would die if they ate nuts for more than 20 times and they would die. And they literally could take and challenge you scientifically, realistically, and be like, all right, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to eat nothing but cashews, almonds, what have you, a half a cup and some spring water every day for the next 20 days. After 20 days, they would normally, unless something irregular happens, like they had a stroke, a heart murmur, or something, a congenital disease that people wasn't aware of or something, on average, people they absolutely would be alive. Absolutely, no doubt in my mind whatsoever. Okay. So you have to ask yourself, we know the knowledge. Knowledge, according to our lessons, is to listen, know, and observe. Knowledge is just your foundation. Wisdom is to make your knowledge known to the people, the woman. But understanding, family, is a picture one makes in his or her mind about knowledge and or wisdom. When you understand the teachings of Master Fard Muhammad, whom I declare unto you all is the supreme law, and you understand his first, last, and only messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings, you just simply be like, all praise is due to Allah. Because you have the wisdom, you have the understanding, you have the sciences of life, you have the mathematics, you have the reality that everything that Allah and his messenger taught us is all wise, right, and exact. You may not understand it at first. See, it's a lot, I remember when I first got knowledge of self and I'm reading the messenger books, I couldn't comprehend this Asiatic calendar stuff. It was too sophisticated, Yaqub, 8,400 years for it just didn't link up for me. But then one day I took the time, it's let me try to understand this. So I just got all the messenger books, and turned to all the pages where you talk about this Asiatic calendar stuff. And I just took my little scratch paper and pen and I started doing the math on it. And when I started, I was like, oh, it's really simple. Now, but it took effort on my side. I had to study the messenger's message in this age of mess. So now today, I understand it's like elementary stuff in this day and time. But it's the same thing with Master Fard Muhammad teaching his messenger that every time we eat peanuts and almonds and cashews and pistachios, what have you, it takes 5 years off your life. Now, you got our vegan brothers and sisters, vegetarians, they be like, oh, you look at a walnut, it looks like the human brain, and look at an orange, it looks like the human eye. So some people eat things based on colors and looks and similarities. That's pseudoscience. Why is it pseudoscience? It's pseudoscience because we live in a universe covering 230 quintillion, 640 quadrillion miles. It's a whole bunch of things that look similar to organs in the human body. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that look like body parts that if you partook of it, if you ate it, it'd kill you in one day. One day, family. So when I did the math, I did the research, I did the science, if you will, and looked at Master Muhammad teaching us that, walnuts and almonds and cashews, what have you, takes 5 years off our life every time we eat them. I'm like, okay, the original man's, by nature, we live 1,000 years. People on Mars live 1,200 years. I did the research on that stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like, what did he mean when he said what he said? And it makes perfect sense when you look at it simplistically, when you look at it in the light of hockey or reality. Think about this, family. You may think, like I thought, oh, well, I ate peanut butter sandwiches, I ate mixed cashews, almonds, pistachios, what have you. It's like, no, that which I ate was not natural. It might have been from the Diamond Corporation, the Planters Corporation. It's from some manufacturing factory that processes cashews, almonds, and pistachios. See, the only way human beings can eat that stuff is if the devil chemically, artificially, or if in nature there's a quirk in nature, like say, I'm just using hypothetically, say a cashew tree was growing next to a almond tree or something, and the tree grew so tall that it eventually touched. Now, chemically, it can produce a hybrid. So you do have hybrids in nature. Like in nature, like in your Bible, it talks about the two olive trees, that touches. You know what I mean? You can produce a grafted Jew, if you will. You have the original black Jew and you can produce a white Jew. That's possible. That's practical. That's science. You know what I mean? But when we look at the reality of the messenger's message in this age of mess, we realize that and let me put it like this, I could do a hypothetical. I don't want y'all doing this. You know how spooky people get online. I mean, they take stuff they see on the internet, hook, line, and sinker. Do not take anything you see from me, hook, line, and sinker. Do the math, do the science, do the reality, do the mathematics, do the research on it. All right. In brief, all of the stuff you see at your health food store, if they're responsible, all the stuff you see at the supermarket or grocery store, whatever, like you go to the vending machine, you get a pack of peanuts. You go to the supermarket, you get a can of Planters mixed nuts. You get your a bag of cashews, a can of almonds, or whatever the case may be. Those are processed. They either boiled them, steamed them, roasted them. They did something to change the poison and toxins in those nuts before they put it out to the public. Why? You would physically die if you ate cashews, almonds, peanuts, pistachios, what have you. Exactly as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us in How to Eat to Live. What are you talking about, brother ministeralif? I'm saying 100% of these so-called vegans and vegetarians, what have you, that's making steaks out of these cashews and almonds or whatever, They don't realize that in nature, if you ate natural cashews, natural almonds, natural peanuts, Carnegie, Washington, you just eat the natural foods, it would absolutely physically kill you. Why? Human beings by nature are not designed to eat that. Exactly as Allah, who came in the person of Master Muhammad, whom all praises due forever, and his first, last, and only messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, taught us how to eat to live, family, not how to eat to die. Think about that for a minute. Cyanide, it's just so many toxins and poisons in those things that are designed by nature to prevent keep it like say peanuts, like certain stuff, like say garlic, onions, whatever, certain carrots, certain stuff grow under the ground. Why don't insects, worms, and rodents and stuff and ants would come eat that stuff up? Because it secretes poison to protect itself. The first law of nature is self-preservation. This is how nature preserves. It's like birds would just fly down and just be all over the tree eating that stuff all up. They love that stuff. But it produces toxins to protect itself, to make sure it can keep reproducing. And here you go, listening to the devil, listening to the corporate world. Oh, they say it's full of protein, it's got iron, and I need to eat this stuff. And you want to come eat because why? The devil taught you to eat it. And you take and suffer the consequences. I mean, but raw cashews, raw almonds, raw nuts, period, are deadly to the human body. Your body temple will literally shut down. It is shut down your liver, your kidneys, your brain. It'll stroke you out. It'll cause heart attack. It'll physically kill you. You see? Just as the law warned us. I mean, every time you eat it, you knock 5 years off your life, mathematically speaking. What do you mean? I'm saying, if you was to bring me a black man or a black woman, any black man, any black woman, that's natural, and they was to eat a half a cup of natural cashews or almonds, whatever, every day for 20 days, you would see them balled up physically on the floor in excruciating pain. If you did not rush them by ambulance or vehicle to the hospital, they would physically die forever. They will not go to Jesus. They would not go to a lost planet white Tyler somewhere beyond the sun. They would physically die on this planet in this reality. Their flesh would turn back to vegetation. Their blood would turn back to salt water. Their bones would turn right back into stones in this planet. They came out of the earth. They would go right back into earth forever. That's just the reality of it. That don't mean 1,000, 1,000,000, 1,billion, or 1,000,000,000,000 years in the future, different life forms won't grow out of their physical dead bodies. I mean, like other plants and insects and creatures and higher life forms. That's just the ecosystem of how Mother Nature operates. We transform. White people say we're born and we die. We don't really have a birthday. We really don't even have a death date. But we do transform. I mean, and that transformation is not karma. It's not life after physical death or any spook. Like the human being that you are today, when you physically die, you're not going up in the sky somewhere in heaven and you're going to be conscious like, oh, I was married to so-and-so. My son is so-and-so. No. I mean, your consciousness turns into the subconscious. Your atoms turn into subatoms. I mean, the subatomical essence of the universe is just going to recycle us. Recycle everything, including books and cars and buildings and planets and moon, suns. When the sun dies, all that, that's just the nature of reality. It comes from atoms, the basic building blocks of matter, and atoms themselves, you crack open an atom, there's baby atoms in there, and quarks, it goes right back to what? Pure energy. What is that? The mind of the original man. Al-Khaliq, as they say in Islam, the creator. There's one creator of all creation. When we don't understand the mathematics of the creator's creation, we destroy ourselves. So let me read a excerpt from How to Eat to Live, Book 2 in 1972. All right. This is How to Eat to Live, Book 2. This is my old Ragley book here. You know, I've read it a million times. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says on page number 82 in 1972 in How to Eat to Live, Book 2, quote, He, Allah, said to me that even eating peanuts, walnuts, and all of the other types of nuts you find these people, meaning white people, eating will take away 5 years of your life. Just 1 meal of them destroys 5 years of your life. So, each and every time you eat this stuff, walnuts, cashews, almonds, what have you, it takes 5 years off your life, family. Now, you may say, what? I've been eating them every day for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, and I'm still here. You're missing the point. You've been eating processed almonds, processed cashew, processed peanuts. You've been eating roasted peanuts. You've been eating boiled almonds. You've been eating steamed cashews. Meaning, if the devil did not extract the toxins and poisons out of it, and you just seen a tree and it's like, oh, you went out in your farm, you know, and you pulled up some peanuts and shook the dirt off of them, and you cracked open the shells and just start eating them, you would be sicker than a dog. You be sick today, in one day. If you see them cashews on, you'll be sick today. In one serving, you'll be sick. 1 serving of raw almonds, you're sick. 1 serving of this stuff. You be like, oh, I see some walnuts. I'm going to make a dation. Oh, you know, I'm going to crack it open and eat it. You can't eat everything on the earth. Like the Bible teaches us in the book of Genesis or the book of Genesis or the book of Origins or Beginnings, it teaches us what? God was like, listen, family. Listen, Adam and Eve. Y'all Europeans, y'all can eat all of the fruits and stuff you see growing around here. But this tree right here, don't eat from this tree. Don't even touch it. See, we spook scriptures up because we're spooky people. I mean, but when you look at Mother Nature, when you look at reality, the hockey, when you look at reality, nature teaches us what? There is simply trees in nature that if you went to them and you hug the tree, you would get sick or you would die. There are trees that you can't it's bark from trees that would physically kill you. Stop listening to this vegan, vegetarian, spooky stuff. It's all this pseudoscience out there. Thinking like, oh, if it's vegetarian, if it grow out the earth, I can smoke it. I can eat it. If it's a mushroom that grows up in that earth, no matter what colors is on this mushroom, I can pick it and put it in my salad because it's vegan. You won't get high. It'll kill you. You'll get sick. You will physically die eating certain berries, certain leaves, certain fruits, certain flowers, certain tree barks. You gotta study the sciences of life, family. Get that spooky stuff out of you. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, with the guidance of a law God who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom all praises are due forever, is right and exact. He teaches us in our lessons that the nation Islam is all wise, right and exact, does everything right and exact. Don't let these pseudoscientists mislead you, deceive you, trick you with trick knowledge. They'll mix real knowledge with trick knowledge so that they can rob you. Master Fard Muhammad, down Elijah Muhammad, said he despises witchcraft, root doctors. He despises them because he know they come to you with nonsense. They be like, oh, well, we organically grew this stuff, so we took and put it in pill form and capsule form and tincture form. Just take a sip of this snake oil. I mean, take a sip of this Hill All potion. It's witchcraft. It's nonsense. Spookism. That don't mean that there are not people that are teaching you facts, reality, teaching you mathematics, teaching you chemistry, teaching you organic materials, saying like, yo, look, I'm using this, and this is going to have a causation that's going to have this effect. This action produces this reaction in the body temple. There is absolutely truth in some organic medicines, but the person has to know what they're talking about. And it's a few people that know what they're talking about. Now, I mean, I seen a few of them over the years. Now, I mean, you know, that can help you. But that don't mean that with their knowledge, there's not some tricks in there. As capitalism is capitalism. Imperialism is, they trying to make money. Look at the price. You see what I'm saying? Do not let the devil fool a Muslim. Not nowadays. Remember, family, only the messenger's message will guide us through this age of mess. Remember the mathematics. The law God who came to person Master Muhammad, to whom all praises are due forever, teaches us that every time we eat almonds, cashews, walnuts, what have you, we take 5 years off our lives. By nature, the original people are supposed to live 1,000 earth years. But every time we eat almonds, cashews, walnuts, what have you, we take 5 years off our lives. What does that mean? We're not talking processed stuff. See, you're eating some processed peanut butter, some processed roasted nuts, boiled, steamed, what have you. If the devil sold you natural almonds, natural cashews, natural walnuts, in nature, it's pure cyanide, it's pure toxins. It would physically kill you. If you ate it 200 times, your 1,000 years will be reduced to 1 day. That's the math. If you ate it physically 20 times, your 100 years will be reduced to 1 day on earth. Remember, only the messenger's message will guide us through this age of mess. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to the gods, peace to the goddesses. Remember the mathematics. The law of God who came to person Master Muhammad, to whom all praises are due forever, teaches us that every time we eat almonds, cashews, walnuts, what have you, we take 5 years off our lives. By nature, the original people are supposed to live 1,000 earth years. But every time we eat almonds, cashews, walnuts, what have you, we take 5 years off our lives. What does that mean? We're not talking processed stuff. See, you're eating some processed peanut butter, some processed roasted nuts, boiled, steamed, what have you. If the devil sold you natural almonds, natural cashews, natural walnuts, in nature, it's pure cyanide, it's pure toxins. It would physically kill you. If you ate it 200 times, your 1,000 years will be reduced to 1 day. That's the math. If you ate it physically 20 times, your 100 years will be reduced to 1 day on earth. Remember, only the messenger's message will guide us through this age of mess. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to the gods, peace to the goddesses. To learn more, download our ebook, How Nuts Take 5 Years Off Your Life by Brother Ministeralif. It covers the arts and sciences of Messenger Elijah Muhammad's teachings and gives you the mathematical formulas as well as the chemicals that will actually take 5 years off your life. Thank you for listening. To order by Cash App or PayPal, see the link at the bottom of the book.